Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome or welcome back to Chef Vic Cuisine. Today, we're making baked chicken wings. Now, if you're looking for crispy, perfectly cooked chicken that practically makes itself, look no further. I cannot wait to show you guys how to make this amazing dish. So, let's get started. So a quick note before we get started, before a big game day, it may be impossible to find wings that have already been cut into wingettes and drumettes, so I'm going to show you how to do it yourself. It's really super simple to cut a whole chicken wing into portions. All you really need is a sharp knife and about 5 minutes to master this skill. So if you aren't familiar with it already, we have 3 main sections of a chicken wing: the drumette, the wingette, and the wing tip. Now for the baked chicken wings, you normally will find drumettes and wingettes. I like using wingtips for chicken stock, but other than that, I normally discard them because they have such little meat on them. So for the cutting process, we want to flip our whole chicken wing over so the skin side is down on our cutting board and you can easily see the joints. Now you want to use your fingers to locate the first ridge between the drumette and the wingette portion. Place your sharp knife just beside the ridge and also parallel to the long axis of the drumette. Cut all the way through this joint, and if you're lucky, your knife should slide right through this with little resistance. Now you want to go find the other joint between the wingette and the tip portion. Cut all the way through this joint as well to separate the wingette from the wingtip. And then we're just going to repeat this process for all of our chicken wings. So if you're using whole chicken wings, you need about 15 of them. So now that we've got all of our drumettes and wingettes, we want to transfer those to a large bowl. And we're going to rinse these chicken wings with 1 tablespoon of kosher salt and enough water to cover all the wings. And make sure you wash them in the bowl, as you want to avoid spreading the chicken juices in the kitchen, as this can contaminate other foods, utensils, and countertops. Some people even use white vinegar and lemon to wash the chicken. This may be a southern thing, but let me know down in the comments whether or not you wash your chicken before cooking it. Once our chicken wings have been rinsed, we want to pat them dry using paper towels. So I like placing them on a paper towel first and then putting another paper towel on top of them, and then just pressing them between the paper towels will get rid of all that water. Now, to ensure that they become completely dry, we want to place our chicken wings onto a wire rack that's been set upon an aluminum-lined baking sheet. We're going to place our chicken wings in the refrigerator and allow the skin to completely dry, which should take about 2 to 3 hours in the fridge. Patting the wings dry and making sure that the skin is completely dried in the fridge will ensure a crispy exterior and prevent them from steaming in the oven. So make sure you never skip this step. With a little TV magic, our chicken wings have now dried, and working in batches of about 8 to 10 wings, place your chicken wings into a large bowl, and we want to generously season them with kosher salt and black pepper. We're also going to sprinkle on a 1/3 teaspoon of garlic powder, a 1/3 teaspoon of cumin, a 1/3 teaspoon of paprika, and 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. Now we're going to drizzle a little olive oil over the wings and toss the wings until each chicken wing is fully coated in the seasonings. And once they are, you want to place them back on your wire rack that's sitting on top of the aluminum-lined baking sheet. And you want to repeat this process like I mentioned before, working in batches of 8 to 10 at a time. And feel free to mix and match your different types of seasonings to find your perfect flavor combination. Once your wings have been prepared, you want to make sure that they're spaced out evenly amongst the baking sheet. And if you need to and you don't have a large enough baking sheet, you can always use 2 baking sheets for this process. But it's really important to make sure they're sitting on a wire rack, as placing them on this allows for air to circulate around the wings, resulting in a crispy exterior on all sides. You now want to place them in an oven that's been preheated to 400 degrees Fahrenheit or 204 degrees Celsius, and bake the chicken wings initially for 45 minutes, and halfway through this cooking process, we're going to flip them. So this is what your chicken wings should look like after about 22 minutes of baking. As you can see, they have a light golden color. but working quickly, we want to flip them all upside down for an even bake on all of our chicken wings. So after 45 minutes, our chicken wings are looking like this, but they're not quite as crispy as we'd like them. So we're going to turn on the broiler to 500 degrees Fahrenheit or 260 degrees Celsius and broil the wings for about 4 to 5 minutes until they turn a darker golden brown. And you'll want to monitor this as you don't want to burn your chicken wings. And for the entire baking process, we want to make sure that our oven rack is at least 6 inches away from the broiler. But once they've been broiled, we want to remove them from the oven. And here you can see that we have this beautiful texture on all of our chicken wings. And now my favorite part of the recipe is creating sauces that really elevate that flavor. This first sauce is personally my favorite, and it's all made from scratch with ingredients that you should probably have around your kitchen. So we're gonna make an amazing honey mustard sauce. Starting off by adding half a cup of mustard into a small sauce pot, followed by half a cup of unsalted butter. We're also gonna add, of course, a 1/3 cup of honey. We're gonna follow that up by adding 1 teaspoon's worth of Dijon mustard, 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. I swear adding that to anything makes it taste better. And a secret to keep the flavors balanced, as well as keeping your wings moist after they've been baked, is to add a splash of lemon juice or vinegar to your sauce. In this recipe, I'm going to use 1 teaspoon's worth of apple cider vinegar. And then you want to add half a teaspoon of kosher salt, as well as half a teaspoon of freshly ground black pepper. Your pot should be set over a stovetop that's at medium heat or 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 176 degrees Celsius. And we want to mix all these ingredients together over that heat until they're well combined. And with that, our honey mustard sauce has been created. Sometimes I like adding a minced clove of garlic to the mix for even more flavor, so feel free to mix it up as well. So that's one sauce down, but I can't release this video without showing you the classic OG sauce, buffalo sauce. And there's really nothing to it in making this recipe. So into another sauce pot, you want to add 1 cup of hot sauce. My favorite to use is Frank's Hot Sauce Original, but if you have a favorite of yours, feel free to use that as well. We're going to follow that up with half a cup of unsalted butter, 2 tablespoons of white vinegar, half a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, half a teaspoon of cayenne powder, and half a teaspoon of garlic powder. Finally, we want to add a dash of freshly ground black pepper, as well as another dash of kosher salt. This should also be sitting on a stovetop that's set to medium heat or 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 176 degrees Celsius. And we want to whisk all these ingredients together until the butter is melted. And with that, the sauce is now created and you can remove it from the heat. And when you're baking the chicken wings, you want to prepare the sauce as they bake so that the sauce is ready once your chicken wings come out the oven. So working with about 8 to 10 wings at a time, we want to place them into a large bowl. And then we also want to add 1/4 to half a cup's worth of our honey mustard sauce at first. And we want to toss each wing in the bowl until it's fully coated. And once they are, you can transfer them to a serving bowl. Another thing I really like about these sauces that we created is that we can use them as dipping sauces as well. That way you can control how much sauce goes on the chicken wings. Me personally, I don't like them dripping in sauce, but with this recipe, you can serve them however you like. And now we're going to repeat the same thing with another batch of chicken wings, but this time we're going to use 1/4 to half a cup's worth of our buffalo sauce, tossing the bowl until each chicken wing is fully coated. And now you want to transfer these to a separate serving bowl as well. Now, if you want a simple way of making a dish look fancy, all you need to do is chop up some fresh parsley and sprinkle it over top each of the chicken wings. So how I like serving them is you have one option of honey mustard wings, one option of buffalo wings, and then you have a plain wing option as well. But after you garnish them with that freshly chopped parsley, they're ready to be served and enjoyed. And just like that, you've made baked chicken wings right at home. Just in time for the big game day. These chicken wings are absolutely delicious. I cannot wait for you guys to try them. Please let me know how they turn out for you by tagging me at #ChefVicCuisine or at Chef Vic Cuisine so I can see your takes on this recipe. But I wanted to show you all how easily the meat falls off the bone of these chicken wings. Doesn't that look good? You have to try this recipe. Let me know how it turns out for you. And I hope you love these just as much as I do. As always, this recipe and many more can be found in my cookbook, Chef Vic Cuisine Volume 3, Upgrading Your Inner Chef. And that's available on Amazon, and I'll be sure to leave a link to that in my description box. And feel free to click the pop-up on your screen for more information on that as well. Thank you all so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this recipe. And if you did, make sure to smash that like button for me. It's one of the best ways to show support for this video. And if you're new to the channel, my name is Victor and welcome to Chef Vic Cuisine. It's my goal to release new recipes each and every week that you can make for yourself, your family, or your friends. So if that sounds interesting to you, make sure you hit that subscribe button too. And click the bell icon to be notified when my next recipe drops. And sharing is caring, so if you enjoyed this recipe and think someone else will too, feel free to share this with all your family and friends. And stay tuned for next week where I show you to make cheese borracas, an amazing bread option that is filled with flavor. Well, thank you all again so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this recipe. You can always check out more recipes on my page now. YouTube thinks you'll like this one, so let's see if they're right. And I'll catch you next time on another episode of Chef Vic Cuisine. And until then, peace.